Alright YouTube, what's got? It's Hightower 5000 here today, bringing you a brand new quest guide. Today we're going to be doing Dishonour among Thieves. I can start this quest by speaking to Moya in the Empyrean Citadel. The requirements for this are Missing Presumed Death and Hazel Cult, them two quests that are links to in the description below in case you've not done them quests yet. You're also going to require 30 Thieving, 30 Agility and the ability to enter Mortania, which is this region of Runescape. Items required. You don't require any items, however you do require this invitation box, so you will need it anyway to get the quest started. If you have lost yours, then what you want to do is make your way here to Brother Samuel. If you don't know where Brother Samuel located is, then he is located here on the way to Canifis from Varrock. The best ways of getting there are probably using the Varrock and Canifis lodestones or the dig site pendant to get to this location. However, if you do have the invitation box already, there's no need to come out here to Brother Samuel. So all you need to do is, if you have lost it, go ahead and talk to him and ask for a brand new one. You're also going to need good combat gear. Basically it's going to be a boss sort of thing at the end of this fight. It's going to be like modelled to your combat level. So you need to have like relatively good combat gear. Right now, as you can see, I have my bot gear on right now. However, there'll be an opportunity to bank about halfway through, and that's where I'm going to go put on some good gear. However, for the start I would still bring some decent gear just because it will be a lower level combat. I've also brought myself a little bit of food, as you can see, an emergency teleport just in case things ever do go wrong, and just got 1 or 2 potions as well in case for some reason I need them. Anyway, so let's get this quest started. So first thing we're going to do is open up the invitation box, and then we're going to teleport to the Empyrean Citadel. Once you arrive here, you're going to see Moya here off to the side. What you're going to do is go over and talk to her. Now it says there again that there's enhanced sound effects for this quest. If you want to turn your sound on, go ahead and do that. It'll maybe give you a better experience. I'm not going to do that just because the purpose that I'm making a quest guide. It's going to say here, would you like to set the audio to the recommended settings? I'm going to select no. Again, you can select yes. Anyway, she's going to start to talk. What you want to do is continue through the chat here to start off. Now, in this quest, a lot of the stuff you say doesn't matter. I'm just going to say to give her your words. It doesn't matter really what you choose, because at the end of the day, a lot of these things that you say will have the same outcome. So you don't necessarily have to choose the same as me. Anyway, so once you get the quest prompt, what you're going to do is accept the quest, and then that is the quest started. You're then going to continue on through with some stuff. Here, it doesn't really matter which one you go for. I'm just going to go for number 2, I'll serve Zamorak, because I've always liked Zamorak. And then you're going to be given this communication device, which is quite important. So now you're going to end up going into the Shadow Realm here, and this is going to make your screen a little bit darker. You're going to see Sleek here. What you're going to do is go over and talk to him, and then go through the chat, and then you're going to select option number 3, continue. Out of these 4 options, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to select option number 1, infiltrate and sabotage. And then you're eventually, after that, going to leave the Shadow Realm. So once Sleek has finished talking, what we're going to do is use our brand new communication device, and we're going to activate it. And then what we're going to do is select option number 2, teleport to Zamorak's hideout. Once you arrive at the hideout, you're going to come and talk to Zamorak himself. He's actually going to start talking to you. It doesn't really matter again here what you choose. I'm just going to go for Neil, option number 1. Again, this one doesn't really matter here. I'm just going to select option number 1, yes, to steal the Stone of Jas. Select option number 1, yes. And then you'll be finished your chat with Zamorak. Once you've done that, talk to Moya again to the right. And then what you need to do here is you need to go through all these options. Basically, we need to get information about people and we need to sort of recruit them. So you're going to have to go through all these options. I'm starting off with Hazel here, and then we'll basically work through them all. So next one is Nomads here. I'm just going to speed this part up. Once you get onto the second page, you're going to see option number 2 here, which is Zemogel and Inakara. Basically, you're actually going to be given the option to go ahead and teleport. You don't actually want to do this yet. What we're going to do is go get more information before we go ahead and do that. So you can select option number 2, no thanks for now. Alright, so once that's done, you should have gone through 5 different options there, getting 5 different sets of information. As you can see, it's all laid out here, and this is what we've got to do, go and find all these people. So we're now going to go and find all these people. So first of all, what we're going to do is head to Ardy. There's various ways of heading out there. You can just use the teleport lodestone, What we're going to need to do though, and then is go down to the south to the clock tower, and then we're going to need to go into a cave down there, which you went into in Haziel's cult. Anyway, so once you arrive at the lodestone in Ardung, what you want to do is head directly south of the zoo, down to just east of the clock tower. There's no need to cross the bridge or anything, you can just run right through the zoo. If you're coming in by another teleportation method, then all you need to do is make your way to the south of the zoo in Ardung. Once you arrive at the south of the zoo, you're going to see an entrance to a cave, which, as I said, you would have entered in Haziel's cult. It's going to have a blue box around it on your mini-map. And there's going to be a cave entrance looking like this. Going to go ahead and enter into this, and then we're going to board this raft. Now, if for some reason your raft doesn't actually follow along and you get an error message, then basically you've twisted with the sewers. There's 5 or 6 sewer pipes above here and around the clock tower, which you need to have in certain directions. If you're not at all sure why your raft isn't going along the river, that is the problem. You need to sort that out. So click below to see my Haziel's cult guide, and that will sort you out. Anyway, so once you've got off the raft, what you're going to do is head south, and then we're going to go ahead and find Haziel. We're going to go and talk to him. So to get Haziel on our side, what we need to do is go ahead and free a werewolf from the mansion. So what you want to do is leave out this cave. You can actually go ahead and just teleport back to the Ardung lodestone. You need to go to a mansion, and it's the mansion in the middle of eastern Ardung. I'm just going to go out this way for the sake of it to just show you what a sewer head looks like, just in case you fucked up. So if you have fucked up, you basically need to go ahead and turn these in the correct direction. Not at all sure what they are, but again, as I said, there'll be a link below to that guide. What you need to do anyway is head back into the centre of eastern Ardung. So once you get into the centre of Ardung, you're going to see this large mansion here, just to the west of the mall area. And what you want to do is head around the back of the house. There's going to be a blue box again on your mini-map to indicate for you where you need to go. Once you get around the back, there's going to be this trap door on the path. What you're going to do is open that up and then enter down into the hole. So once you're down here, what you're going to do is go ahead and talk to Gerald. And it doesn't matter what option you select here. I'm just going to select option number 1, You Saviour. And then again, it doesn't really matter what you select here. I'm just going to select option number 3, The Red Eyes. Anyway, so we still need to go ahead and free him. So you're going to go over here and search the butler, and you're going to get this cell key here. What you're going to do is just unlock the cell door. And then, as you can see there, it says that Haziel and Gerald have joined up into your group, which is really good. So he has been freed, although he doesn't move from there. Now, before we go on to the next person, there is this chest here. This gives you 1 or 2 wee additional rewards. There's a few of these throughout the quest, which I'll be showing you the locations. So once you've opened it up, you just want to go ahead and search it. It gives you 5,000 coins. I believe it gives you a gem and also 250 Dungeoneering tokens. I think there's 6 of these in the quest, which I'll just show you. It's a nice wee additional bonus. So anyway, for the next one, what we're going to be doing is going out to Draenor Village. You actually just want to go to the north of Draenor Village, exactly pretty much where the lodestone is actually, where the crossroads are with Draenor Village and Draenor Manor. There are alternative ways of getting there as well, like using a glory for example, but you might as well just go ahead and use the lodestone if you have it unlocked. Once you arrive at the lodestone, you want to head a tiny bit north, and again there's going to be a blue box on your mini-map indicating that you want to go through Death's Portal. It is basically this purple circle on the ground just to the north of the lodestone. Once you enter into that, what you're going to do is you're going to automatically be put into some chat, which you're just going to want to start skipping through. You then get select option number 2, Continue. Doesn't really matter what you choose here, I'm just going to select option number 1, Yes I Do. And then just basically that wee conversation, Nomad has agreed to join your team. That one was very basic. Alright, okay, so the next person we need to get is at the ruins of Uzer in the desert. Now, unfortunately, you can't actually teleport out from Death's Chamber, so what you need to do is just run south and go back through the portal. So we're going to be heading to the ruins of Uzer. That is in the desert, so what I'd recommend doing is lodestoning, teleporting to Al Kharid, and then from there what you want to do is run down south to the Shanty Pass to get a magic carpet. So once you arrive at the Shanty Pass, what you want to do is go through it, and then you want to come over here to the Rug Merchant and Fast Travel. If you do have the option, then you're going to go ahead and select option number 1, Uzer. If for some reason you do not have the option to Magic Carpet to Uzer, what you want to do is head in an easterly direction across the desert until you reach the river, and then you want to go south until you can cross a bridge, and then basically continue on from there east. If you do click on the map, if you do need to, then it will indicate you the location of the ruins. Anyway, so I'm going to select option number 1 and go by the Magic Carpet to the ruins of Uzer. If you arrive by Magic Carpet, all you want to do is run a little bit south. If you are coming in from the east, then you will eventually come across a sea. You might have to go a little bit south from there anyway, and then you will arrive at the ruins of Uzer, which has a blue box around it. So once you've arrived here, what you want to do is go right into the middle, and then you want to climb down the stairs into the ruins itself. Once you're down here, what you want to do is talk to General Khazard, and then you want to select option number 3, continue, and then he's going to give you the option to re-enter into the Shadow Realm. You can select option number 1, yes. This is what we were in earlier on at the start of the quest. If you walk a little bit further north, you're going to see this dead bird on the ground, or dead person, sorry, on the ground. What you're going to do is search away, and then you're going to find this bloody journal here. Have a quick read through the 3 pages that is in this book, and then what you want to do, you'll actually leave the Shadow Realm just after that, and then you want to go back and talk to the general again, and then basically just state your findings, what you found. You're going to hand that journal over, and then basically the general is hopefully going to join us. There we go, he has now joined us. So that is our 3rd person down. So the next person we need to go ahead and get is Dachirius. He is located in Taverley Dungeon, so the best teleportation method for this is using the Taverley Lodestone, and then once you're there, what you want to do is just head to the south of Taverley and go into the entrance of the cave which hosts the Blue Dragon. If you're like me and you're using the Lodestone, you just want to pretty much run directly south over the bridge and then continue south. Once you arrive, what you're going to do is enter into the dungeon, like I said. Now here, if you do have 70 agility, then what you can do is take the shortcut through the pipe here, past the Blue Dragons, continuing on east. I'll very quickly show you here on the map. You're then going to pass the Laser Demons, go over the bridge, past the Chaos Dwarves, and then back over the bridge to where the Poisonous Scorpions are. If unfortunately you do not have level 70 agility, then you're going to have to run the long way around, which I'm going to do just for benefit's sake, because I don't think everyone will have level 70 agility, because agility is a pretty shit skill. Anyway, so if you don't have 70 agility and can't use the shortcut, you're going to run a little bit to your north, and then there's going to be a gate to our east. What we're going to do is open this gate up here, and then we're going to pass through it. You're then going to go through the gate to the south, and then you're going to continue in the easterly direction. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have to go to your northeast a little bit, and then you'll be able to go in a southeasterly direction. You're going to go in a southeasterly direction here. You might start getting attacked, but continue until you get into a large room here. There's now going to be floating axes. Continue to walk past them, go south, and you'll have to go a little bit west to continue back south again. We're now going to be joining the people who took the agility shortcut. So we're now passing the bridge where I told you to go over at the Poisonous Scorpions. From there, what you're going to do is continue south, and then eventually we're going to get ourselves into the Black Knight's Fortress. So once you've arrived in the Black Knight's Fortress, what you want to do is head down to the southwestern corner, and again there's going to be a blue box indicating on the map where we need to go. The Dachirius should be here, or Lord should I say. Go ahead and talk to him, and then select option number 1, Dishonour among Thieves. And then what's going to happen here is the screen's going to go black, and then you want to continue through the chat to the end. So unfortunately for him, we actually have to do something as well. Just before we do that though, there's another chest just to our north which will give you very similar rewards to the last time. 5,000 coins, some gems, and 250 Dungeoneering tokens. So from here, what we want to do is head directly to our east, and then there's basically going to be here this Preaching Black Knight just above this map of, looks like Falador, I believe. What you're going to do is you can either go ahead and select option number 1 or 2 here, Basically it says either threatening him or trying to persuade him. I'm just going to select option number 1, reason with him, firm but fair. So that's me basically, I believe, trying to persuade him. And then basically you're going to get quell uprising 1 out of 3. So that's the first part done. Then what we need to do is head to our northeast. And then you're going to arrive in this kitchen area here. What you want to do is go ahead and just talk to any of the Black Knights. And then I believe you'll actually start talking to them all. And then again, it doesn't really matter what you go for here, threaten him or reason with him. I'm going to go for option number 2, reason with him. And then that's going to get you part 2 of 3 done. This will be shown on your screen and also in your chat. So finally what you want to do is head directly west from there. And then you're going to go to another room with a furnace in it, I believe. What you want to do, go ahead and do is there's a chest on the western wall. You want to open that up, and then you're going to see this here. You're going to find something which is a potion. It's actually a poison, so we need to go tell Lord Dacarius what this is all about. I do realise I just said his name wrong there. I'm not at all sure how to pronounce his name. I do apologise. Going to return it south to him again, and then go ahead and talk to him. And then basically he's going to say this is really disappointing, but that's going to have you 3 out of 3 parts done for that. Anyway, that means that he has now joined the team. So from here, what we're going to do is use our communication device. We're going to activate it again, and then we're going to teleport back to the Zamorak hideout. Once you arrive back here, you're going to basically go into auto chat with Zamorak. That's going to very quickly finish. So you're going to talk to Moya again. And then you can select option number 1 here, which is Zemoregal and Enakra, I believe. And then you can select option number 1, teleport me. Now just before we go here, this is going to be a first tiny wee bit of combat. It's not a lot of combat, but for some reason, if you're not prepared anyway, it's asking me here, are you prepared to fight? Yes, I have very basic armor. It's not going to be too difficult combat. You maybe just want to wait and actually view me doing it. I've also got myself some food and some super, so I'm going to select option number 1, yes. And then as soon as you get teleported here, there are going to be loads of these zombies here. All you're going to want to do is go ahead and kill them all. I think there is 5 in total here. I think some of them, I think they're all actually attacking me. Some of them are ranging me as well, actually. I'm just going to speed this part up, but what you want to do is kill them all. Anyway, so once you've done all that combat there, what you're going to do is climb up the stairs here. And then once you arrive up here, you're going to go ahead and talk to either one of them. And then you're going to actually get into a conversation with both of them. Doesn't matter again here what option you choose. I'm just going to select option number 1, I've come to speak with you. You're then going to select option number 3, continue. And then that is both of them agreed to join. So that's us now got all 5 people we need to get. Now basically Moya is going to come up in your chat saying, Hightower, can you hear me, or whatever your name is. And then basically we're going to have to return to Zamorak's hideout. I'm not going to go back just yet anyway, because there's another chest just to the north of us here with some additional goodies in there. Now what I'm going to do is return, so activate my communication device and select option number 2, teleport back to the hideout. It's now going to say that everyone is ready, and then select option number 1, move on. And now you're going to enter into a cutscene, I believe. Once you get to a choice of 3 options, again it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to select option number 2. And that is us basically completed the first of 3 parts to this quest. Alright, so moving on to the second part of this quest. Basically what it involves like 3 maze rooms anyway, which are quite complicated. And then also the final part of the quest is the boss fight. And the boss fight is quite long. It is difficult anyway, but I'll be explaining you through it. So for that, unfortunately, we can't actually bank from this stage onwards. So what you want to do is teleport out of talking to Zamorak, and then you want to head to a bank. I've headed to Canifis because I'm going to have to walk to the location where we're going to need to go to. Now, you want to get your best combat setup possible. Now it doesn't really matter what you use, range, magic or melee. The thing is about this one, you can use melee just because you're going to have to like hug the boss at all times. If you're not near the boss, like if you run away from the boss for example, then basically it's actually going to cause you more damage, so you need to be in and around the boss. So melee is actually quite good, but you can still use range and magic. I'm going to go with melee because melee is my preferred combat system. Really hate range, and magic is just not my thing. So I've gone here with my Torag setup. I've got my Fury, got a Torag's hammer, warrior ring, dragon boots, and also some Kramjar gloves. This is my setup here as well. Really depends on what you want to go for. I've gone for 20 rocktails. I think I've got myself a prayer pot in case something really badly fucks up, Sardamon and brew, and I've also got myself a super restore. Fan-up teleport for emergencies. I've got an extreme attack, an extreme strength, and I've also got prayer renewal. Didn't bring a defense, probably should have, but oh well. Also got my invitation box on me as well. So as you can see here on the map, basically the location we need to head to is south of Barrows. Now there's one or two different methods of getting there anyway. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to run all the way from Canifis, hence why I've started here. But you can go ahead and teleport with Draken's Medallion, I think it is. Not at all sure what quest that's from anyway, but there's a teleportation method that takes you I think down to either one of the two villages down there or Barrows itself. As I said, I'm unfortunately going to have to run down there, so I'm basically going to go where my mouse is going to go. I'm going to have to go through the Mortmire swamp, and then I'm going to have to go round this stupid wee bit here, through Morton, and then into Barrows. I'm going to speed this part up. I'll put a map on screen if you have to follow my route as well. I'm going to be facing south. I know a lot of people get on me about cameras and adjustments and all that. I'm going to be facing south, running towards where I need to go. Anyway, so that's now me got past the main part of the swamp. You do need to watch out for the gas. Unfortunately, the gas, what they go ahead and do is they ruin some of your food and create it into rotten food. There's an item that you can bring if you really do want for some reason to preserve your food. However, it's not really worth it because you want to maximise your inventory space. Right, so I'm now facing in an easterly direction. This is me in the town of Morton. Right, okay, so this is me now finally arrived at the location, and before you go in there's this chest here again giving you some additional rewards. However, in this case actually I would open up the chest, but I suggest dropping the rewards that you do get. I'm mainly just doing it for the nice wee bonus dungeoneering tokens, because overall I think if you get all the chests it adds up to like 1,500 dungeoneering tokens. Right, so this first part, before we actually go in to the maze rooms, we've actually got to get to the maze rooms, and that requires a maze without combat and shadows in it. Well, it's not really a maze, but you have to alter through caves. So we're going to enter in now, and then what you want to do for this first one here is you want to head to your west, all the way to your west, and then take the northern door through. So this one here, basically with a blue thing above the door. Once you're into this next cave, what you want to do is head south and then go through the western door. Then when you get into the third one, what you want to do is head in your northeast and then go through the northern door. In the fourth one, what you want to do is head to your northeast and go through the eastern door. In the fifth one, what you want to do is head all the way to your east and then head through the eastern door. Make sure you do not go to the northeastern one. I'm just saying go to your east, do not go north, and then go for the eastern door, the one with the red line above it. Once you get into the sixth one, what you want to do is head all the way to your north and then go for the eastern door. And then finally in room number 7, what you want to do is head all the way to the north and then you want to go through the western door. Alright, so that has just completed that wee part there. Now basically we're going to be into our first maze room. Right, okay, so Molly's basically going to say that what we need to do to get through all of this. So it doesn't matter what option you go for here, I'm just going to go for one. Yeah, let's get him. And then Gerald, this werewolf, is going to appear and he will be helping us out. So this is what we need to do here. So as you can see on the mini map actually, if I go ahead and temporarily make this a little bit bigger, we've got 3 maze rooms to do. Now, as you can see here, I'm in this first one here where my mouse is, then the second one is this one here, and then the third one is the one at the top. Now these do get progressively harder, as you can sort of tell, they get progressively bigger. We've got to do different things for each of them. We've got to do a combination of pulling levers, taking out guards, passing masks, and passing shadows. Now it is very important up here, and you'll see at the top of your screen basically that you've got forward dive, back spring, left roll, and right roll. These are very important because the rate that the whites, or the guards, whatever you want to call them, the masks flash, it's slower to walk, so what you want to do is use these roll things to move around. Alright, so let's get this first room started. So what you're going to do is move just one forwards here, and then we're going to wait for this guard here and to come basically along here. Once the guard comes along here, you can basically see his line of sight. What you're going to do is you're just going to wait here. What you're going to do is actually, I'm just going to roll back here. Unfortunately I was too slow there. Right, so once you're ready, what you want to do is run out here, and then you just want to spring forward twice, and then take out the guard there and assassinate him. That's all about timing. A lot of this is going to be about timing. It took me 3 attempts actually to get past that. Anyway, so for this next part, you can see these masks on the wall here. What they do is they flash 3 times, and then there'll be a gap of about 5 seconds. That's the gap you want to move in. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be going down this wee alley here. So I'm going to wait for this to flash 3 times, and now I'm going to make a move. And you need to make sure your run is turned on. My run unfortunately wasn't turned on, but run actually, it turns out, I thought it just doesn't work here, which I've just learned. Anyway, so once you get into the safe spot here down here, what you want to do is wait for this to flash 3 times, then we want to go and pull the lever on the south wall. So I'm just going to wait for this to flash once, twice, and 3 times, and then I'm very quickly going to, I suppose you should probably roll. That's why they've got this wee sort of system, and then we're going to go ahead and pull the lever. What that's going to do is that's going to allow Gerard to pass along this bottom section here. Unfortunately, however, this is not over for us, and these masks are still going. So again, what we're going to have to do is we're going to just have to wait on this mask flashing 3 times, and then you're going to want to roll forward into the same spot that we were in a second ago. Fortunately, I couldn't roll for some reason, but I'm walking back up to the safe spot. So make your way back to the safe spot, and again, wait for the 3 flashes. Anyway, so once you get yourself to here, what we need to do is we need to move 1 to our east, then we need to move 1 to our north. Then from there, what you want to do is forward dive, and then you want to roll to your left. So that's going to be, in a sense, right, then forwards, then left. Quite simple. So now we just need to wait for the correct time, and I've already failed at this like twice. So there's 1, there's 2, and there is 3. So very quickly, go ahead and move yourself, and then roll left, and then there we go. So that's us past that part there. I'm just going to roll left again to get out of the way of this one. This one's a lot more basic, don't worry about it. All you want to do is just wait for the mask to flash 3 times. All you want to do is roll forwards. Make sure you're actually facing in a forward direction though, because that's often going to prevent you from passing by. Anyway, so just to do another forward dive, 1 or 2 of these. There's going to be another lever here. You're going to want to go ahead and pull this, and that is going to help us unlock the door to go into room number 2. So that's the first room complete. Yes, that took me quite a few attempts, you might have noticed. Hopefully it shouldn't be difficult for you. I'm just really bad at timing a lot of this stuff. Anyway, so again, Gerard wants to basically go around. He's going to go around the other way, and we're going to have to do all the work really for him. So one very important thing to note, and you might not be able to see it too well, but there's now shadows in this room to make this even more difficult. Now, they are very difficult to see. Some people say if you turn on your graphics quality, you can see them a little bit easier. Basically, you can see sort of here this black sort of moving shadow moving up and down the corridor. Now that is going to be another obstacle which we need to pass. If you can't see it, then you might want to just lower your graphics quality for this part of the quest, because they've obviously tried to make it nice and discreet for me, who's got quite good graphics set up, but obviously if you have the lower one, then it's a lot more obvious to see. Alright, so once you're ready, what you want to do is just go ahead and wait here, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be following the shadow back north. So as you can see, it's coming now down here south, and it's at the southernmost point now. So what I want to do is follow it. So go ahead and move out, and then forward dive twice, and then you just want to go ahead and move in to the gap of the door here. Once that's done, what you want to do is go after the guard, and then go ahead and kill the guard, And then once we've done that, what we can do is go ahead and pull the lever. That'll basically mean that Gerard can basically start his movement all the way around. He's going to go ahead actually and be very helpful and take out a guard as well, which makes this process a little bit easier. So actually what we're going to do here is we're going to go back to the start. So in a sense you could get caught if you want to. Doesn't really matter too much. It's not going to reset the whole room. But I'm just going to try and not get caught because I don't want to risk it. But all you want to do is just move out in front of the shadow and then roll forward like 2 or 3 times to make sure you're totally out of the way of it like so. Right, so if you're unfortunate like me there, Infectious decided to disconnect me. You'll basically spawn back outside of the entrance to the cave where the barrows is, but it does mean though that your progress is saved. So I've already completed the first room, so that's okay. So it just spawns me outside the second room again. So for this next part, what we're going to need to do is you're going to need to stand in this spot here. There's one guard left, as you can see, and basically what this guard is doing is it's walking down here and then walking back up and then back along to its east. So we need to be in the safe spot here, and as soon as it basically turns to go the other way, we need to follow it. So what you want to do is sort of move in a diagonal direction as soon as it turns, like now, and then roll forward once and then roll right. And then go ahead and kill him, just like so. Now that part took me actually like 5 or 6 attempts. You need to make sure you get that bang on. You need to be very fast with these buttons at the top, or you will fuck up. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to continue in a northerly direction. Now, as you can see, that is the lever there. That's where we want to go to. However, there's 2 masks actually before we get to this lever. If you very closely look, there's a mask there, and there's also a mask round on that pillar as well. So, of course, we need to wait for the flashes. So there's 1, there's 2 flashes, and then there's 3 flashes, and then I'm just going to forward dive, and then I'm going to get out the way of that one there. Again, I'm just going to have to wait for this mask to flash out here. So that's once, that's twice, and that's 3 times, and then we are good to go. Just dive forward. You don't probably need to dive forward for that part, and pull the lever. And then that opens the door up, and that means we have completed the second room. Then Gerard will follow round, and then we move on to room number 3. Right, okay, so pre-looking into this room is extremely difficult. There's about 4 guards, there's 1 or 2 shadows as well, and there's a lot of crisscrossing, there's a lot of going back on yourself. And this will take you many attempts. As you can see right now, there's a shadow going up the middle. We'll need to keep an eye out for that. Anyways, this first part actually shouldn't be too difficult. What you need to do is you need to go in and kill this guard here. Now you need to just basically walk into the room and wait till he's facing the other way. You want to move forwards 1, which I'll do right now. Now you need to make sure you're not in sight of the mask, because the mask can catch you out here. So what you want to do is you want to be facing in an easterly direction like I am so. If you're not, for example, then what you want to do is spin yourself 45 degrees. So that's me now facing directly east. So when I roll forward, I will go forward. So I'm going to wait for the guard and hopefully the mask to be in time. Right, so that's the mask flashed all 3 times. I then want to come behind that guard and then take that guard out, no problem. So you see I timed the mask there with the guard going in the like northwestern direction. I rolled in, I snuck up behind and killed the guard. Right, okay, so this next part is quite tricky as well. We're actually going to go ahead and go to our north, and then we're going to come into this corridor here, which you might think, okay, that's very strange. Now, you need to go ahead as much as you can. However, you need to stop 1 before that, because as you can see, the mask line there is being a bit awkward. Now, what we need to do for this part is we need to roll over the corridor and go into this other one here. Now, I think this guard could be stationary actually, so all we need to do is roll up behind that guard. However, that is very difficult to do in itself. Now, obviously you need to watch out for the mask that's right in front of us. You also need to watch out for the mask that's actually flashing across the other direction, because that could affect us over here, but mainly the shadow is your biggest problem. So what you need to do really is wait for the shadow to be heading in a northerly direction and the mask to be deactive basically. As you can see, it's just passing us right there, and it's going back north. Now the mask has stopped flashing for 3 times. Go ahead and roll forwards, and then I managed to sneak through. Quite fortunate, I got very lucky there actually. You just need to time everything there, and then come across and kill that guard. So now we're going to actually have to go ahead and do the reverse of that, unfortunately. Not at all sure really why we have to do it in this order, but we do according to Wiki. So again, you're just going to have to do the exact opposite, head back over, wait for the shadow, make sure you're actually facing in the correct direction, so make sure you are facing directly east. You're going to want to roll forward and then just pop up 2. So I'm just going to wait here, the shadow is coming down my screen now, or maybe the mask actually flashed permanently, I'm not at all sure. But I've managed to get out of that, no problemo. And then we're back to where we were. You then want to go back to this southern wall and pull this lever. I don't really get why we didn't go ahead and pull this lever in the first place, but nonetheless that's what you have to do. So you're going to go ahead and pull that lever. Right, so we're now going to head north from here. And then there's going to be this guard which we have to go ahead and deal with. So you need to wait, basically, when I'm standing right here, make sure you are facing directly in a westerly direction. And when he goes and walks southeast, what you want to do is roll forward and go ahead and kill him. So now he's heading northeast, he's heading southwest, and then I just want to come along and kill him like so. Right, so once we've killed that guard, what we're going to do is head north and go to our northeast. You want to stand basically where I'm standing right here. There's a shadow in front of us, the shadow is moving up and down. This is going to be extremely, and I mean extremely difficult, this part. You need to move so fast. So you need to come around here and kill this guard. This timing is ridiculously difficult to get. What you want to do anyways, you want to be facing, make sure you're facing directly in an easterly direction. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and forward dive when the time is right. From there what you want to do is go left, and then from there what you want to do is go backwards. So you need to make sure that you're on point with all these. You need to do it very, very quickly. You need to time it, however, with this guard here as well. So this is where the extremely difficult comes in. It's really just a bit of luck, if I'm totally honest. Hopefully you can see how I do here. So remember, forward, left and back as soon as the shadow starts to go north again. So forward, left, back, and then in, and then kill. Simple as. Now I got very fortunate there with my timing, again timing, but as soon as that shadow starts to go north, you need to roll forwards, left, and then back, and then into here. Hopefully the guard will be walking north like it was in my case, and then you'll be able to go ahead and kill it. Right, so from here what we want to do is sort of go ahead and do the exact opposite of what we just did. We need to go back on ourselves and go back over to where Gerard is. Right, so we need to do the reverse of what we're doing, so we need to go forward, right and back this time. You need to do it basically as soon as the shadow passes going north. This one's a lot more difficult than the ones before. So once you're facing directly east, it's north, it's forward, sorry, right, and then backwards. So unfortunately I got caught, but that's not the end of the world actually, because in a sense we actually wanted to get back. Okay, so if you get reset like me, then that's absolutely no problem whatsoever. Basically what you want to do is head up to your northeast again via the eastern room. If you made it, then congratulations. I guess you can save it like 2 seconds. You're basically going to land up here. If you did make it round, then you should be round about here. What we need to do is go ahead and stand in this spot about here, and we need to go across to our west. We need to go across the main corridor. So for this to happen, what you need to do is face yourself in a western direction, and then we need to time the shadow and also the guard here. So I believe, I'm not too sure where the shadow is actually. I think the shadow is coming up to its north now. This time I actually want the shadow to be at the south side, and then we also need to be that guard facing in a northerly direction too. So we're going to wait for the shadow to go by. Actually, we have to wait, unfortunately, as well, until this guard does another pass south. So now, after this, the coast will be clear. And then we're going to roll forward too, and that is just going to be across over to the other side. Alright, so once you're over at the other side of the corridor, it's just going to be this guard here, basically walking around in circles. You need to take this guard out, so go ahead and pull that lever over there to get Gerard on his bike. So what you want to do is basically make sure you're facing in a southern direction like I am right now, and then wait till the guard to come round, and then you basically want to roll forwards and then go ahead and assassinate that guard as well. So once that's done, you can just go ahead and simply walk over to this lever, I'm pretty sure. Just watch out for that mask though there, and then go ahead and pull the lever, and this should get Gerard on his way. That should hopefully maybe lift that barrier over there. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, we need to go ahead and pull another lever. We need to kill this guard here basically to be able to pull that lever. So I've got a feeling this guard is just standing still for some reason, not at all sure why, but I'm just going to go ahead and sneak up on the guard and then go ahead and kill it. I think the guard was just facing that way for some reason, not at all sure why. A very easy assassination there, but you want to go ahead and pull that lever, and I think that should finally get Gerard on his way. If not though, we've still got to go ahead and do 1 or 2 more levers anyway. Right, so it turns out we've not actually still set Gerard free, but we need to go ahead and do that. Well, we've basically done that part already, so you're going to head south and we're going to need to head back over the corridor again like we just did to get over here. So position yourself basically in this exact spot here, and then you want to rotate yourself to the right 90 degrees, and then we're going to dive forward. Make sure the shadow is not in your way, or the guard is in your way anyway, and then you'll land up back over here. So once here again, what you're going to do is just going to go forwards, left and backwards like so. Forwards, left and backwards, and then you're going to be safety here. Move 1 to your north, and then you're going to rotate yourself facing the east wall again. And this time all we're going to need to do is go forwards and then left. Right, so once the shadow's going south, forwards and then left rapidly, and then you should be out the way of the shadow. Like so. Then you can go ahead and pull the lever. Now according to the guide you should be able to pull this lever, however for some reason I couldn't, and it said that I need to pull another lever before. This is very strange, I'm not at all sure why this happened. This shouldn't happen, but in my case it did. If it does happen to you, then what lever I had to pull is I had to reset myself, go back to the southeastern corner, and then remake my way up to here. So it's the lever in the southeastern corner, which I will show you now. And then you need to make your way back up to this lever here basically, and then you'll be able to pull it. Right, okay, so once you get back round to here, what you want to do is we're going to have to wait for that to come as the shadow to come as south as possible again. And it's going to be forward, left, and then back, and that's going to bring us round to there. So wait for this to come along. Forwards, then left, then back, like so. And then you want to go ahead and move 1 to your north. Then you want to rotate your body so you're facing an easterly direction. And then we're going to want to go forwards and then left when the shadow just passes us, because this one you need to be very, very fast for. So as you can see, the shadow's just gone past us. Forwards, then left, then tuck myself in, and then pull that lever there, and then that hopefully should be everything done. So now that we've actually gone ahead and done that, what we need to go ahead and do is basically go back to the start, because Gerard now should be making his way around, so you can just go ahead and get caught actually, because we do need to get reset for this part. And then as you can see, this wee bit's open here, so we're going to follow this round now, and then basically this route is totally safe. You don't need to worry about anything, you just need to follow it round. Now you need to watch out actually, because before we go ahead and get access to the next room, there's just one last guard which we need to go ahead and kill. So once you get up to where I am here, what you want to do is rotate yourself so you're facing in a westerly direction. Now what we need to do is we need to roll forward here, and then we need to roll right. So basically we're going to follow this guard down. Now we need to do it when the guard is standing and is just about to turn. You also need to watch out for the shadow as well. The shadow's now going south, this guard is now facing north. We're going to roll forwards, roll right after it, and then go ahead and hit it. You need to run north very, very quickly because of the stupid shadow. Now there's going to be this lever in here which we're going to go ahead and pull, and then that completes the room. And then Maya will start talking to you again. You just want to continue through the chat there, and now we're going to be into the vault here, which we need to unlock the vault to get to the boss itself. So the light and shadow masks are going to start talking to you, basically explain a few things to you. Doesn't really matter what option you select here, I'm just going to select option number 1, okay, will do. Now before we actually get this started, I'm going to have to explain all this to you because we need to do a lot of multitasking here. Now there are no time limits, but things do sort of run out of time. That doesn't really make sense, but it will. Basically this door here, as you can see these 2 levels there, basically it's not a set time, but they will, one will slowly drain and one will go up and one will go down, but you can't let one of them totally fill up and one of them be empty, but I'll come on to that in a second. So first of all, what we will need to do is talk to Maya which will make us use Gerard to find the guards. So to do this, basically we'll need to go ahead and talk to Gerard after we've talked to Moya to basically change to his view. Then when we're in his view, basically he can show us footsteps. And then what you want to do is you want to make him face the footsteps, or the tracks I guess, and then you want to follow them. Then once that happens, what we need to do is then speak to Moya very quickly, and we need to go ahead and find the guard's mind. Now, this is quite difficult to do. You can do this by two methods. You can either locate the memory by listening for a light tingling sound, so you need to have your audio on for that. Because I'm doing this quest and recording it, I'm not going to be doing it that way. There's two methods to do it though, because obviously Jagex does realise that not everyone has an audio output device. You can also tell where the memory is by going ahead and seeing there's going to be a pulse basically as the cursor, and that's going to get it's going to speed up basically as you get close to the mind. Now this all sounds very complicated and there's more to it, but it'll make sense when I show you it. So you get 3 attempts, however there's actually no penalty for failure, which sounds quite strange. The memory meter also does not have to be full to be able to get the point for that. After we've done with the mind thing with Moya, as you can see there, read mind, you're going to go ahead and talk to Nomad and then also Enakara, I'm not so sure how to pronounce it. Basically what they do is they control this thing on the door of the vault here. So as you can see, at one side there is a white sort of liquid and on the other side there's a black sort of liquid. Now one of these are going to go up or down, so you need to make sure that you balance these out. I'm not at all sure how fast they go, but you need to make sure that one side doesn't fill up and one side becomes empty, because if that happens then the whole room will be reset. So you need to continuously talk to them. So at the start anyway, we need to go ahead and speak to Moya, then speak to Gerard, then back to Moya to read the minds, and then go ahead and talk to these two at the top to make sure we sort out the issue with the vault and the gauge. Now we've also got 1 or 2 other things we need to do as well, unfortunately. After the second memory is found with Moya, then we're going to be given another thing that we need to do. So basically, as you can see around this room here, there are these bridges, there's 4 of them, and they also lead to like entrances into this vault. Now in 2 of these, what there are going to be is there's going to be white eyes coming through it, which are like zombies or something like that. Not at all sure what they are, it doesn't really matter. But what we need to do is we need to identify what 2 rooms they're coming out of, and then we're going to place portals down in front of these rooms. And then for that to happen, what we are going to go ahead and do is I think we're going to go and talk to this person here, Zemorigal, and then basically we'll be able to plot where we need to put the portals. And then basically the portals will just be put in front of the bridge, so basically they will try and walk towards us, but because they'll be sucked into the portals, they won't reach us. Now I've just gone ahead and explained a lot of things here. You might want to wait for me to actually do it, and then from there you'll basically see what you need to do. It's quite confusing when I was reading it and reading through it, but then when I actually seen someone else do it, I thought, okay, that is very manageable to do. Now there's a possibility you are going to fail here. Basically if you do fail, the room will just be reset and you have to do it again. Now as I said, after you land up changing the portals, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and read minds 5 times. You need to complete that process 5 times, and then once you complete that process 5 times, then basically this vault will be unlocked. So again, what we need to do is we need to talk to Moya first of all to get this whole room activated. Then we need to use Gerard and then track the footsteps. Back to Moya, we need to drain the memories. Then we need to go for the gauge balance. Then after the second time we have found the memories, then we start off with the portals as well. Alright, okay, so let's get this started. So I got ultra close last time. This is my 3rd attempt. Got really close, so I know what I'm doing. So start off by talking to Moya. Then track with Gerard. You're then going to go ahead and turn right until you can find the tracks. So that's the tracks. You then select option number 3, follow. That sets him off. It takes him a wee while to get over there actually, but once he finally does, then we'll be able to read the mind of Moya. I think he is over there now. The render distance isn't the best, but here we go. So read Moya, and then she'll bring up this thing here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That one's a different pace. It was the 3rd one, they were overlapping there, but there we go. So count to 1, 2, 3, if one's a different speed, then one is a different speed. At the end of the day, you just need to go ahead and go with it and work out which one it is. You get 3 tries. So now you can see the gauge has started, it's basically at the top of your screen, switch you over, and then that will sort of counteract your problem. back to Gerard, and then we're going to follow the track straight ahead. It's going to be different for everyone. The tracks aren't going to be in the same places, so don't bother writing mine down. But now that has happened, we need to wait for him to go over there. We've not completed the second mine yet, so we don't have the eyes to deal with. But switch use up. Now it's sometimes best to wait until it's more like 75-25%, because that will give you longer to read the mine, for example. Now, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sorry about the background noise, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right, there's a possibility it might not be any of them, and it's because it continuously changes, actually. So you just need to make sure that you keep an eye out on your gauge right now. It looks like it's none of mine actually, which is very strange, but it's because it does continuously change. Right, so this is a failed there, which isn't too bad actually. It doesn't reset the room if you actually failed the mines, so in a sense you can just go ahead and spam. That will take up a little bit of time. So I'm just still trying to find this, and I'm really struggling to find it. It's not difficult to find, it's not easy to find even. Anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can just sort of tell when one's faster than the other. Unfortunately, I just can't seem to find the faster one. Right, okay, so that turned out to be my faster one there. So now that is the second one done. Now, after you complete the second mine, as I said, remember you need to start looking out for the eyes in the tunnels. So, the portals will be initially set up for you to distract them. However, as you can see, there's eyes in the northeastern tunnel. And then there's also eyes in the north, it looks like northwestern. So both the northeastern and northwestern tunnels. So what you need to do is go ahead and talk to this guy here, and he's basically going to let you map everything out. So northeastern and northwestern, I think they're already set up for there actually, and that's where they're going to be next anyway. So I'm going to track Gerard now. I'm going to go ahead and try and find some footsteps for you to follow. So follow tracks. Off he goes. Reset these two to make sure they start to counteract each other again. That gives us a good amount of time to hopefully get this. Now this is the third time, and now we've got something else to deal with as well. We need to be a lot more efficient with our time. If you can't find it, however, then you can. That was just a bit of a risk there. That's it there. There we go, so that's it there. If not, you can actually exit out and go and reset these two if you want to, and go and sort out your portals, and you can go back to it. It doesn't really matter, because if you fail the gauge or if you fail the portal locations, then basically you'll be reset the whole room, whereas if you fail the reading the mind, it doesn't reset the whole room. Anyway, so that is the two eastern ones that needs to get changed to now. As you can see, fuck. Right, so that's west, east, except I need to run and alter use to like now. So this is going to give me a lot of time here actually. I managed to leave that to the last second there, which is nice. So track Gerard, right, right, right. You can use your number keys or I can use your mouse. 3, so I'll get him to follow tracks. It looks like both of them are still the east right now, and the gauge is looking good. I'm not at all sure how often it updates. Again, sorry for the background noise. But there we go, it's updated now. So as you can see, that one is southeast, and then we've also got... The render distance is really annoying here. Southeast and northwest, this needs to get changed to. So southeast... Southeast is... Now remember, the map's upside down, so... Southeast is that one there, and northwest is that one there. Now we can go ahead and deal with the mines. The mine is the last thing you really need to deal with. Right. That one there. So this is us on to number 4 now. I could just tell that one was a little bit faster. But let's go ahead and let's reset these. I don't even know if the portals have been reset yet actually. Which is interesting. Anyway, I think the portals have now been reset. So there's white eyes there. And there's white eyes. So that's south, east and northwest, which I'm pretty sure it's not changed yet actually. Oh right, okay, it's just changed date actually. So there we go. Fuck, change use very quickly. And let's go ahead and let's track more of Gerard's footsteps. Right, so Gerard, right, 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 and then follow. And then I very quickly need to go ahead and look for So I'm looking for the northeast corner, northeast and northwest. So I'm looking for the two north ones this time. So take off the south one, remap the north one. The gauge is in my favour. So now I can go ahead and read the mines and then hopefully get it here. So 1, 2. There we go, that was the last one there. And that's all 5 done. And that will unlock us the vault. So, fucking hell, that was really high intensity there. That was very, very difficult. I really struggled with that, but hopefully with all that you'll be able to get through it. Anyway, so now we're going into the boss fight, and this is quite difficult as well. Make sure you are ready for combat, which I'm not. I've not actually even recharged my prayers, which is really, really poor. But hopefully we'll be okay. So anyway, what you probably want to do is if you have soul split, any of them high-end prayers, then you want to put them on. If you're like me and you don't have them, then unfortunately we can't really do too much about it. You just have to go with protect from melee. That'll hopefully help you out. I'm pretty sure he attacks with, I can't remember what he attacks with. It's maybe a range of different things anyway. We'll find out, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere protect from melee does help. Now if you want to take a few seconds to prepare yourself, just like me, if you want to alter your screen a little bit. If you are on Evolution of Combat, which I imagine everyone is, you might want to use Revolution, so it automatically selects the attacks. Make sure your attacks are set up, so your hotbars along here, like so. Make sure you've got everything ready. I'm all ready, I'm just going to be using the automatic things to do that. Now once you select an option here, which again doesn't really matter, you'll start the thing. That's why I've not actually clicked any options yet. And make sure you've got prayers at the ready, of course, and anything else you will need for combat as well. So once you've done that anyway, what is going to happen here is there's going to be like 3 different sections. So it doesn't matter what option you choose here, then it's going to start. Then you're going to want to stay close to him as much as possible, because if you go away from him, basically he will cause you damage. So you want to like stick to him, and that's why melee is actually like not a bad suggestion for this fight. Now there's a possibility you can get frozen, and then basically every second's like 1/20th of your life points or something like that is going to disappear. What you want to do to get out of that like frozen business is just click anywhere, just like start spam clicking around you to move, and then eventually you'll break free from that. Then there's also another possibility, as you can see behind Sleeves here. Or maybe you can't actually, but there should be basically a big ball there, and you could get teleported to that. If you do get teleported from that, you want to run down the stairs, whichever side of the thing you get teleported to, and then there's going to be a cloud of like, I'm not at all sure what the cloud is, but there's going to be a cloud coming down these steps. You need to move out the way of that, because if you land up getting hit by that, then you will lose half of your health points, which can be very significant, because I think you'll still be getting attacked as well. However, you just want to basically stand to the side of it. You might want to watch this part actually before you go ahead and do it and just see how I do it. You just basically want to stand to the side of the steps, because it will come down the steps and keep going until it hits the wall. It's not going to weave, it's just going to go straight. And then once that happens anyway, you want to go back over to the boss and get close to him again and go ahead and continue attacking him. Alright, so one final thing before we go ahead and go into the boss fight. You can see these purple portals that are spawning around the boss while I was attacking the boss. I never knew this before the boss fight, but what these do is these heal the boss. So if they do spawn, what you want to do is just go ahead and attack them and kill them off. Because if you don't, then basically what will happen, in my case I didn't kill them, and they basically put the boss, I've had the boss at like half health, it revived the boss all the way to full health again. So in a sense I had to kill like the boss 2 times, which is quite annoying. So kill off the purple/blue portals when they spawn to help yourself out. So that's basically going to be the main fight now that I've explained that all to you. There's also like a second sub fight afterwards as well, which is quite important. Basically you need to kill 30 of them whites, or them guards that was talked about earlier. You need to kill 30 of them, and then basically you'll also be given some special attacks along the top, which you can use to help them out, to help you out. Basically your whole team behind you here, they'll all be helping you out. You need to make sure though that all their health points stay above 0, because if they die then you fail and you have to restart, I'm pretty sure. Just make sure none of them die. Maybe not in the boss part, it doesn't matter too much, but you need to make sure anyway that it does definitely not happen in the second part when you need to kill 30 of the whites. Now the tactic for this, what you want to do anyway, once you get to that stage, is run around the room. and make sure that they're okay basically. And then there's going to eventually be a cutscene which I'll talk through that part when we get to it. So again here, select any option. I'm just going to go for option number 2. I do advise you, by the way, I'm very bad at combat, so I might be horrible here. You're going to say some stuff to each other, and then basically everything is going to start to happen. So this is who we're going to be attacking. Well, some of them will be attacking them, and we're going to be attacking the big boy. Again, doesn't really matter here what option you choose. They all land up at the same outcome. And let's get this going. So you hear the voice. As soon as you hit continue here, it's going to begin the fight. So here we go. So let's go ahead and attack. So I'm just going to go ahead and put on and pot up basically. That's what I would highly advise. And basically all you want to do, as you can see I'm already frozen actually. So you want to break free from that. And you just want to continually attack him. Not too difficult so far actually, surprisingly I'm doing okay. I'm just waiting, oh god, right, so as you can tell I've already been teleported. So what you want to do is just get out the way of it. And as you can see, this clouds, basically need to get out the way of these clouds. If you land up being in them clouds, then basically you're going to get really badly fucked over, is the bottom line. You're going to lose like half your health, which is never too good. Anyway, so doing okay so far, prayers are fine. And yeah, I mean, as you can see, it's not too, I thought it'd be a lot more difficult if I'm totally honest. Just need to make sure, as you can see I'm frozen again, so as soon as you get frozen just start spamming. I do apologise for my mouse being very close to my microphone. That's all you need to do basically to get rid of that. And yeah, I guess just go ahead and continue to kill him. Not at all sure what happened there. I got injured and I fell over. And I think something else is about to happen here as well. He's actually got bigger and he's changed. He changes about halfway through actually, not at all sure why he changes. Right, so this is the point where these portals start to spawn, and I was never realising actually that they were healing him. I was then like, should I attack it, should I not attack it? I then decided from there that I was going to try and lead the boss away from them, but like, even if you manage to take the boss around to the other side of the room, the portals will still heal the boss, so there's no way of really getting out of it. All you need to do is go ahead and attack the portals. Portals seem to spawn around every 20 to 30 seconds, but they did continuously build up. So when the boss, as you can see right now, gets itself back to full health, I realise, oh shit, there's already like 3 or 4 portals. I go ahead and kill all them, but they do continuously spawn, so you need to watch out for them. And then after I took out all the portals, then I went ahead and finish off the boss again. So do not make the same mistake that I did anyway. It was really pointless, and this made me start to worry because I was running a bit low on food. But don't worry, for the next 2 sections you require like little to no food, especially the last section of the fight, which we'll talk about in a minute. You basically get given enhanced powers, and it makes life a lot easier. Right, so there we go. That is me killed for the first time anyway. Now remember, as I said, back in the Shadow Realm, or basically back out the Shadow Realm, now we've got to go and kill 30 of these. Now basically you're given some special attacks at the top actually, which you need to go ahead and kill some of these elite things. Now it does look like these are like 100 level 38, but you get to one hit them actually. And remember, you've also got these things as well. You've got these special attacks, which do help you out greatly. Make sure you, don't think you can actually unfortunately have run on here, but basically these special attacks will help you out. And basically they can wipe like loads of people out at once, which is really good actually. Again though, you need to make sure that no one's going to land up dying, because that could be a major problem that you may have. Anyway, so continue on. You need to make sure that everyone's okay actually, so you need to continuously move around. Unfortunately I'm moving very slowly and sluggishly. But hopefully if we go ahead and do that, then basically as you can see, I mean, we're getting through them not too bad. Again here, I'm just spamming these basically, and they seem to be taking the things out not too difficultly. There's a big one there in the middle. I'm just going to leave the big one out right now. Again, just use this big one here and that'll take out hopefully all of them. I'm not at all sure what's going on, if we've got lag issues or not here, but I've definitely got something going on with my movement, which is kind of shit. But let's just finish these off here. So there we go, so there's 30 done. Now once that's done anyway, you're going to land up going into a sort of cutscene. What you want to do is you want to touch the Stone of Jas here, or Yas, and then select option number 1, yes, and then we're going to be put into a cutscene. Now when you're put into a cutscene here, one or two things are going to happen. Now you want to start going through the chat, however I'm going to stop about halfway through here. I'm going to stop now actually because I want to explain something to you. This is very important. So after this, what is going to happen is you're going to go back to where we're fighting and there's going to be a final wee wave. You need to go around and kill like 8 of the bosses. However, you're given superpowers or like enhanced powers from touching this stone anyway, so you'll like 1 or 2 hit them, which is good. However, they've still got a very high attack and your team basically, they're already on like half health from killing them 30 whites there. You basically need to make sure that they don't go down to 0 health, so you need to move around the room quite fast. So skip through all this shite. It's just basically all the gods talking to each other, which I guess is quite important if you're into the god storyline anyway. I'm not really into this storyline of the gods anyway. And then once you get back to this room anyway, then remember we need to move fast here. So mind you've got enhanced powers now, so it's totally fine really. You shouldn't have too much of a difficulty whatsoever. You should be, it should only take you a few hits really. And then there we go, so there's 1 of 8 done. So as you can see now, Gerard for example is on low health and he's struggling. We need to get around everyone very quickly here. So just go ahead and continue round the room, and that's 2 down. Fortunately this person here, I'm not at all sure, his Nomad here has a lot more health. So there we go, there's a 3rd one down. And you're just going to have to go around, basically everyone's got like duplicates or so, and they need to kill them. You need to be hot on your feet basically, that's the bottom line to this. Now the thing is, as soon as you go over, they'll actually start attacking you and stop attacking the other person, which is quite good. So in a sense, if they're on like 2 HP, they will not get attacked again. As you can see, I mean, I'm going to really struggle to get around everyone. I'm now on Moya, and Moya's just about half dead. So hopefully we can speed this up. Go ahead and slay you, that's 6. We should get around everyone though, so there we go, there's the 7th, and then here is the 8th as well. As you can see, stops attacking Zemergal, and then that should be us done. So there we go, that is us done, all of them, and then your screen's going to go blank, and then basically Nomad's going to say haha, and then basically that is us done. So you can skip through all that. It doesn't really matter, I believe, what you say here. Again, they all lead to the same outcome, which is the end of the quest, actually. So Nomad is going to do something quite stupid. I'm not at all sure what he does again, but he does something which is quite strange. And then basically, what you want to do, you can go ahead and select what option here. This is going to alter a future quest, I'm pretty sure. So how are you going to react? I'm going to select option number 1, stop Nomad and throw the spear back, or you can either don't stop Nomad and dodge the spear, but that's going to have a knock-on effect for someone else. So I'm going to select option number 1, stop Nomad, because basically if you're throwing a spear, then, well, you don't really, like, you shouldn't be doing that. That's how I feel. Continue through all the shite, and then you're going to go into another cutscene, which this is just the ending cutscene of the quest. There was a bit of Runescape there. Anyway, so once the cutscene is over, you're going to land up, it's going to be Salisk and Zamorak talking it out. Just want to skip through all this. You then want to select option number 3, continue. Then select option number 2, continue. You then have a choice here, help Zamorak, help Salisk, or remain neutral. I'm going to go for number 1, help Zamorak, and then we're going to kill Salisk there, and hopefully finally the quest will be wrapped up. So now then going to talk to Zamorak, and then basically they're all going to kneel down to you. And then kneel before Zamorak. I'm going to yes, because that's what I did at the start of the quest, and I've always followed Zamorak for some reason. And then there we go, so that is finally the quest complete. So, congratulations, you've completed Dishonour Among Thieves. You're awarded with 2 quest points, 1500 Agility XP, 1500 Thieving XP, 500 Dungeoneering XP, a lamp worth 1500 XP in a combat skill, Jedod's cape, item and cosmetic, Haziel's bobblehead, upgraded Sleek's mask, and 2 treasure hunter keys. Right, okay, so before I go, there are some additional rewards which you might want to listen up to. So if you exit out of there, you can exit out via the door, the vault door, which will take you just outside of Barrows, or I'm pretty sure you can just teleport out of there as well. Then what you can go ahead and do is you want to get your communication device back out, because this will take us back out to Zamorak's hideout, option number 2. Now in Zamorak's hideout there are 4 chests, which will basically give us some additional rewards. So the chests basically are scattered around the hideout. As you can see, this is one of them here. Now basically the rewards are different things. So as you can see here, I've got an XP lamp tier 1. Now basically to qualify for this, you must have all of your skills above level 50, and it'll give you 7000 XP in any skill you choose. The second tier, you must have all skills in level 70, and that'll give you 50,000 experience in the skill you choose. And then the third and final tier lamp, I believe, is you need to have all skills in level 90, and you get a lamp worth 96,000 XP in any skill. I believe the final chest is just an additional, like a few gems, some money, and some dungeoneering tokens. So as you can see, there's the first one there. Now unfortunately I don't actually qualify for tier 3 because I do not have all 90 stats yet. I do however have all level 70 stats, so there we go, there's my tier 2 one. I'm just going to continue to look around here and find the 2 additional chests. There's one over to the west side here, which gives me the Dungeoneering tokens one. So it looks like the final chest is behind Zamorak's throne. If I go to open this up, unfortunately this is the tier 3, require 19 all skills to get access to that chest. But anyway, that is this quest guide complete, and that's me showing you all the additional rewards. So hope you have found this helpful. Please leave it a like rating. Check out my Road to Max and my other quest guides on my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you're new around here, and I'm out. Adios.